Oh shit, here we go again. Garbage, garbage, garbage.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. It's the Schmodown Entertainment Network, and we are live. So that means it's SEN Live. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for joining us here today on this Thursday, 12th of November. And we have Alex Marzoña joining us as always. Ben Goddard on the crew. Brett Sheridan.
Hello.
The man on the mission. 2 more days until the end of an era. RB3. Hey. House.
Man.
And last, but certainly not least, she is the former Movie Trivia Showdown 2-time Teams champion. Classy one. Clarke Wolfe returns. Hello, Clarke.
Hey, y'all. Thanks for having me back.
It's been. So it's good to have you.
It's been about a week, right?
I know. It has been. So welcome back, everyone. We're going to have a fun show today. And maybe, I don't know, we haven't talked about it yet. Maybe we'll try to get that share on the line here. Maybe. We'll see. But we have a lot to talk about. There's a lot of things going on. Big news in the Halo was one of my favorite games ever. I think a lot of people's favorite games. And there's some news of this Showtime series that they're doing. And Cortana is an instrumental part of the show itself. And they recast. They recast Cortana because they had set an actress to do it. And then they actually brought in the actress who voiced Cortana for the entire time of all the games. I love this move. This is the kind of stuff. I got nothing against Rosario Dawson. I think Rosario Dawson's great, but I would have loved to see Ashley Eckstein do Ahsoka Tano. She's dressed up as her. It's the voice. She knows the character. I've seen her in the look before. She's a really great actress, and she knows it. But whatever. I can't judge. I can't judge that yet because I haven't seen Rosario Dawson in that role. However, this is a great move to me because it will connect those Halo fans and say that's the voice. Like the same way that when you didn't really have Megatron's voice the first time and used Hugo Weaving, it didn't work the same. I don't know, Clarke. Do you have any opinion on this whatsoever?
You know, Kristian, I don't. I read the articles. I did the research, and I was just like, okay. I mean, it seemed to me like the actress who they had that they replaced, she's still in the project. She's just playing because she was cast in 2 roles, and so she's still playing one of them. Exactly. So I was like, because at first I was like, oh, that sucks for this poor woman who just had her job taken away. Right. Because that's like every actor's worst nightmare is being replaced after you've already started shooting. So anyway, at least it seems like the best of both worlds. And like you said, hopefully fans will appreciate the change.
Agreed. Now, Goddard, you're the resident gamer of the crew. I'm assuming you were a big, and RB3 as well, but I assume you were a big Halo fan growing up.
Yeah, I'm really happy for Jen Taylor, and I think the reason why they had who's the actress, Natasha McElhone, who was supposed to be Cortana and Halsey. Halsey created Cortana, and Jen Taylor voiced both of them in the game. So like she created this AI like that was very formed after her, so it made sense in the game. But I'm happy that Jen Taylor, I'm wondering if they're gonna do like, you know, the dots and stuff and like have it like a motion capture thing. Yeah, I'm sure. But yeah, I'm happy for Jen Taylor, but I'm also happy for Natasha getting to play Halsey as well. Like she didn't lose both roles, she just lost one. So I think it's best of both worlds.
I think it's pretty great. RB3 again, how do you feel about this?
Well, I'm not as familiar with the Halo franchise. Oh, okay. I've always been a PlayStation person myself, so never really gotten to Halo. But I'm familiar, you know, kind of, you know, preferably. I don't know, is that a word? I'm kind of somewhat familiar with it. But yeah, no, I like seeing the game actors come into the movie universe. This could be a big opportunity for this person. And I want to see, you know, I hope that they could just go in the direction of the series that is original, but also is still faithful to the game. So
do you, Brett, were you around when we used to play? I mean, we used to play this at my apartment all of the time. Like there were battles and fistfights almost broke out because of Halo. But have you?
I've played it before. Yeah, I didn't get into it or anything, but I have played it before. I'm kind of Clarke kind of stole my answer of like,
no,
yeah.
sorry.
I'm like,
Brett's
welcome to my world, Clarke. Thank you.
Stop bringing her back on.
Well, I mean, I'm wondering what you guys think. Are you guys excited for this series in general? Someone said Pablo Schreiber, I guess, is the is Master Chief.
That's awesome casting.
That's great.
Granted, I don't know if they're ever going to show his face because you don't see his face in the video game, but you do see his face he takes off his helmet in the books.
Yeah, I think that's going to be more of a trend now because of the Mandalorian.
Yeah, I mean, they proved it could work.
It proved that it could work, and I think more actors might be able to take a shot with, hey, if it's working for a Mandalorian, because the person that doesn't get enough credit for it starting that trend, I think, is Carl Urban with Dredd. He did not have to. Carl Urban could have put up a sting and said, "Oh, I want to show my face a little bit." And he didn't, because that's not what Dredd did. And I still think Dredd is one of the more underrated comic book movies that have come out in a long time. A lot of people watch, but I think that he's the guy that kind of first started to say, like, "Hey, I don't need to show my face if it's that's for the character." So maybe they do it that way with Master Chief. I don't know. The other thing is, Clarke, you posted this thing today that I had to watch. It was simply called, all it said was, watch this. Oh my God. Who was this woman? Was she a comedian?
Okay, no.
So tell us what this was.
No, this is, so I haven't done a deep dive. I'm pulling it up right now. So, because I want to give credit to the guy who actually edited it all together. Because he, this guy on Twitter, John Frankensteiner, tweeted, currently obsessed with Lita Powell Drake, the greatest interviewer of all time. And it is a supercut of this local woman interviewing celebrities. And so basically, he pulled, I can show it. Yeah, show it. Because,
yeah, Drew McWeeny tweeted out. I watched it too.
Yeah,
John Frankensteiner pulled this from the history of Nebraska.
Hey, that's where I'm from.
Do you know this woman, Brett?
I don't know.
Is
she wearing Kappa?
Put it out there today, and I watched it, and it's pretty phenomenal. Hold on, check this out.
Let's let her rip this morning. You got to work with Richard Burton in The Tempest.
Yes, I did.
And now he's dead.
Yes.
Dead he is. His dad, you watch Bonanza, I'm sure you watch the reruns of Bonanza, was the sheriff on Bonanza, Bing Russell. Is he still alive, Kurt? You've done some villains, you've done some things.
Really?
What happened to Heaven's Gate, Sam? What happened to Bosom Buddies?
We were canceled.
Did you see the movie Raiders of the Lost Ark? Have you seen it yet?
Yes.
Wonderful
movie.
You know that he turned down the role of India. I heard that you turned down the role, that you were offered the role. Do you have any regrets about not going into the series for MASH? Oh, they've all made a fortune, right? Then that little movie you did with him, Wild River, what was one of his few flops? He looks evil. Can the camera come in and take a close-up and look at these eyes? Have you ever seen eyes like this? If you look at them real closely, what do you see? Look. Do you see that ring around the outer edge of the eye? What is that?
I don't know. It's an old family trait. My father has the ring around my moon.
Well, it makes a most fascinating look. You really look terrific.
Thank you.
Are you into yoga or exercising?
I exercise.
Right? You might just whip one out.
I might just whip one out, and there I am.
Jesus.
Listen, you don't... you are speaking, because you and I go back a few years, but you were. Tom, how do you kiss underwater without bubbles coming out of your nose and mouth? How would you feel as a mother if your daughter were involved with your former love? Personally, how would you react to something? How your voice has been to you over the years?
No, baby, tell me.
Perfect.
Oh,
I mean, you do that as you're a new father. Can we do that?
Of course we can. It was
Let's
based
try it
on
again, because
affection.
that was on the left side. It works. You don't consider yourself.
She said, "You don't consider yourself a great actor, do you?" That seemed like a Saturday Night Live sketch.
So here's what I want to, like, the reason that this resonated with me for so many reasons, but I have a feeling that everybody who's on the show today has been in a junket scenario. Junkets are so hard because the actor doesn't want to be there, and I usually never want to be there because you get 4 minutes. It's so like impersonal, and the fact that this woman keeps sitting down with all of this talent, and what I also love about this is real. This isn't a bit. This is not somebody trying to troll, because right now everybody's like, oh, I'm gonna troll that person. Everybody's gonna go viral. This is just how this woman is.
Talks, yeah. She got no couth. Got no couth. She is just.
That's the thing is that, I've seen, someone in the chats like Between Two Ferns or Jiminy Glick, but it's like, those are all bits. Like those are all like, what show you're going on to.
Yeah, and they're in on it.
You don't know.
Yeah.
You don't know. She's gonna ask like, is your dad still alive?
Yeah.
Like what?
All right, so this is another one someone just sent me.
Oh God.
Clarke, we watch these ridiculous fights that have, and Rex Chapman just posted this. He posted some real gems. And this is it's just the world is such an embarrassment. It really is. This is one that they just shared with me. Hold on a second. Watch this one. So there's no sound to this one. So I wish I could put some music to it, but for those people who are
drunk Brett music to it.
Yeah.
So right now they're all just kind of sitting around. They're socially distanced. If you look, they are perfect. RB3, play that. So where do you think this is going to go right now? Because look at all of them. It's like the White Trash Jedi Council. And
okay.
See, they said, but now
so fast.
It's so fast. They did quick, and now they're just kind of dancing a little bit, and then you put them up against the pole. But look at the big dude over by the mustard. He's just watching.
Yeah.
How big that bottle of mustard is.
I don't know who they are, but whatever's happening. Look, they're like dancing, and they're just laughing, and just got them in a bag.
They are so laid back.
Yeah, they're just watching.
This must be a daily thing.
It's entertainment. Now they're just look. He's laughing. Look. This is like really. It's like the worst UFC fight you could ever possibly see. It's like, and look, now it's like maybe I'll help out. Look,
he got his collar popped and everything.
It's incredible. Like, and now he picks him up. Oh, 5 minutes ago. 5 minutes ago. Look, that was amazing. Like the two of this. The music is great, by the way. This is
and they're gonna sit back. They're gonna sit back next to each other.
Yeah, know that this is real.
Oh my God!
It's definitely real. A bunch of idiots. Please do it again. Now the guy starts texting. So and this guy's starting to. Oh, he's talking to the owner. Sorry
There's
about
blood. There's probably blood on the ground.
Maybe. I mean,
clean this up.
That's not nice.
God.
These people have to clean it up.
Poor women having to come out here and clean up these stupid idiots' mess.
And he's going back. Now he's dancing with them. Move.
What was that?
Look at this. Watch this move. He starts like doing a hump dance. Watch. Look. La 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 la.
Good for the hands.
Oh wow.
Look, these idiots' friends didn't even be like, "We're so sorry. Can we take this from you? You shouldn't have to do all of this."
Now they're buddies.
Like, I would be so embarrassed, and then I would not let those women clean up after my stupid moron friend. Oh God!
Oh, what a disaster! What an absolutely disaster! It is. This is the world we live in.
Garbage. Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, let's get back into some more movie news, TV news, whatever the fuck. By the way, streamlabs.com/the Schmodown. The reason we're able to have all these wonderful people on is because of you guys. The reason we stay on the air is because of you guys. So if you're able to, streamlabs.com/the Schmodown. We are going to do some karaoke at the end. I think what I'm going to do today, because I think RB3 is probably going to have to sing tomorrow. I mean, I think that's a given. But what I will do is I will change. I'll set my goal today at the 500, and if we hit that, I will sing "My Way" by Frank Sinatra, but for RB3. I'll say RB, and I'll sing it to RB3's way. Is the way that I'll do that. I thought about that today. So that's for 500. 600 will be Hamilton. And you know what? No, I'm setting that at 400.
Yeah,
I'm setting that at 400 for Hamilton. My shot for Alex, because that's going to do it. And then we'll set those two. And if we start to get closer, then we'll start to set other goals for other people. So, what was the one that you had, Ben, that we didn't hit?
What's this? The Nightmare Before Christmas song.
Yeah, sorry. We'll do that. We'll do that one. We'll do that one at the 600 level. So right now we'll set the 400, 500, and 600. We'll keep those. So that's what I like. That's what I like. Someone asked, are we getting the best of an RB3 video package tomorrow? I would love that. I want to talk to Matt Link, but Matt Link also, did you guys see what he did with the video that from the impressions yesterday with Jason Inman?
No.
Have you seen this?
I see that.
All right, let me play this one also for you guys, and then we'll get into the topics, because I'll let Clarke give her opinions on this one. Hold on a second.
I was gonna make a video myself. If people want to send me some of their favorite SEN clips or Schmoes Know or Schmodown clips,
I'd love that.
Please send those to me. I was gonna edit a video too. Like you could buy.
That's what I was gonna suggest. I was gonna say, why don't you make your own damn video? getting other people to do it for you. Come on.
Oh, you're a real bastard.
Come on, you're the one that edits. I don't edit. Come on, this is ridiculous.
It's Matt Link put this together yesterday. So we have Shaggy, the Mad Hatter, and Elmo. Here it is.
Anywhere, man. They got food slots that make donuts.
I just want to really have some unprotected sex with aliens, so I'm on board.
I'm a little scared for some probing. I know these guys like to do probing in space.
You're excited about it? Because I am, or you say you're nervous, because that doesn't make any sense. Bring
It's
on.
all right, Elmo. You'll blend in with the Klingons. Just scream at them a lot.
Klingons, you got to see what my pants do after a really exciting day. They cling on the wall, am I right?
If this gets scary, we can all be thankful that Trump came up with the Space Force to save us.
That's absolutely right, Elmo. Now you're speaking sense. Sign it up. Sign it up.
Over here eating donuts because I can't say anything.
So good.
Well done.
Really good Shaggy by Inman.
Oh yes.
This is
very good.
Yeah, I posted that. That's up on Twitter and Instagram, because Matt Link put that together, and it was really, really good. So thank you for that. Is the Schmobot on?
Well, I mean, when you share a video, we got to turn it off. So.
Oh, right. All right. So you can put that back on, please. Sorry, because I forgot.
I see Mark Andraco in the chat. Hey, buddy.
Yes. Hello, Mark
Good to see you.
That reminds me that the team's tournament is coming up, and we have a lot of great matches, and that starts. We have a big match that drops today and tomorrow for patrons who've already seen it. You can see the full schedule is at the schmodownlive.com, and Odd Couple's in it. You have the Founding Fathers are in. A lot of people are in it, so go and check that out. All right, what's the next story there, Alex?
All right. In a recent interview, Zack Snyder shared that he would cast Carla Gugino as Selina Kyle, aka Catwoman, in his version of events in the DCEU. Snyder said, "I would say Carla's Catwoman is perfect. He would have to say there's a flashback to 10 years ago where they were a thing. And then he had to arrest her, I don't know what happened, or he had to let her go, and it tweaked him. And now, who knows what she's doing now? She's running some sort of international antiquities or something, and he needs to retire, and they find each other. Yeah, I do think Carla is, she's good." This quote may not hint that Gugino would actually show up in Zack Snyder's Justice League, but with production ongoing, who knows at this point.
It is a great quote, though. I mean, just not rambly at all. And very
Literally,
it's like my
I don't know,
quote.
something would happen, and then this would happen. I don't know, maybe. Just like, what are you talking about?
I will say this though. I think she's a great cast for Catwoman. She is a great actress. She's one of the sexiest women of all time, and I think that's exactly. And I think she got that edge that Catwoman needs, and I think that I'd love to see that version of Catwoman. So I was pretty excited by this news. I know, regardless of what the quote itself was, I think this also goes into the fact of we've heard rumors already that that one of the main reasons that they want to do Snyder Cut and keep Snyder happy is they want him in the Warner Brothers family and they want him to do more stuff. So I think that I don't know. Maybe this is some more hopeful stuff that we can see on HBO Max. I'd like to see an actual HBO Max series that involves Catwoman in it. I think that could be fun. Clarke, do you think so?
I think, I think, first of all, I think Carla Gugino is a wonderful actress. She is also in Zack Snyder's Watchmen. She's great in that. She's great in most things. She's a beautiful woman. She's incredibly talented. So I think that in that world, sure, that makes sense. But at this point, I don't know. I'm kind of I think that like someone like Matt Reeves coming into the DC universe and doing a Batman story, doing a Catwoman story, he's already kind of doing those things. Not to say that we can't have, we can't have the same characters in different iterations in the same universe. Like that's fine, I guess, but I kind of feel like at this point Zack Snyder is just saying things to try to, I don't know, like is it like The Secret where you just say it out loud and maybe it'll happen, because that's sort of how the whole Snyder cut has been thus far, is like if people keep talking about it, and I'm also kind of the opinion where I'm like, we should maybe stop calling it this. I don't understand why it's called the Snyder Cut anymore, because you don't get $70 million and you don't reshoot things. Like, it's not a cut at this point. It's Zack Snyder's Justice League, which is fine, but it's just like at this point, this project has become something completely different than
Matthew Dawson donated $20 bug ups to Mr. RB3. Good luck on your new gig. And I'll still be watching you on First Cut and Geeks of Color and wherever I can find you. Also happy to see Clarke here, one of my favorite Schmodown champions. Hey Brett.
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
Hello.
Thank you.
Well, we love having Clarke back, and it's two weeks in a row we're spoiled.
And I think Clarke and Kate just became best friends because they have the same.
Does she feel this way as well?
Oh yeah. I do too. But I think Christian, are you still on the it's still the Snyder cut?
I understand why you can I understand the argument against it, but I also understand that it was based off of the cut that he was working on. I agree with Clarke that you normally don't give that kind of money to further on a cut. But the difference is this thing is very. It's a whole new phenomenon of what it was, what it became, the circumstances behind it. So the idea that it was the Snyder Cut, and they said, "Look, we want you to put this thing on the on HBO Max. We want to do it. So, and you have other visions of how you want to finish it up. Here's the money to finish it up, and it's his cut of the film. It just now he's got reshoots and things that he did, and they were expensive reshoots. And I do understand if someone wanted to argue this is Zack Snyder's Justice League as opposed to just the cut, but it is still his cut of the film. Now, it is based off of the thing of what he was initially working on and how he wanted to see it and maybe what he wanted to do, and the fact that he had time off. And whenever you have time off on any project that you're working on, anything like, oh, you know what I would have loved to have done was this and add on this, and shit, they're going to give me some more money to add on to my cut, then I'll do that. So I think that you can make an argument on both sides of it is a cut, and you can also make the argument of why not just call it Justice League. So I understand both sides of it. Alex, what do you think?
I'm with Clarke on this one. It's a whole new thing. I mean, he stepped down 6 months before the movie.
Well, he didn't really step
out.
down.
He left the project 6 months before. So it's like, and now they're giving him so much money to make a whole new thing, and so I don't know. I think that's where you draw the line, where like, oh, you're shooting a whole new movie essentially.
Well, so
kind of based on old scripts.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, I for me personally, like I think it's an evolution. Like I think it definitely I think there's definitely people think like because they refilmed a bunch of stuff, there was never a Snyder cut. I definitely think there was a Snyder cut that was a 2-hour movie, and then they're adding more things to make it a TV series. And to go back to what Alex was saying about him leaving, I mean, it wasn't just him leaving. I mean, there's a whole report you could read in Hollywood Reporter where, he it wasn't necessarily like he left voluntarily either. Like he was kind of pushed out, and they kind of used the whole daughter suicide thing as a kind of cover up. But they already had plans on replacing him with Joss Whedon even well before that, even in April, like right after Batman v Superman came out. So, I could see from his perspective being wronged, and then, getting the situation where Warner Bros. Like, hey, we'll give you a bunch of money to make the movie or the series you want to make now, make it a series now. And, I could see that kind of mending the relationship. But I definitely do agree. Like, it's not the Snyder cut anymore. You know what I mean? Now it's a completely different thing. Now it's a series. Now it's more characters. And I don't know what this Catwoman thing does. I am looking forward to seeing Zoe Kravitz in the Matt Reeves movie, and frankly, I don't think it's a good idea to just have a bunch of Batman, a bunch of Catwoman, and a bunch of like all these different characters and universes happening like simultaneously.
Yeah, the Joker thing was so interesting too. The idea that now Jared Leto is going to be in Zack Snyder's Justice League as the Joker when he's not in Suicide Squad and he's also not in the Arthur Fleck version. It's just like that's another one where I'm like, well, that's not. Then this isn't. Then this is something different if you're adding the Joker, if you're adding Jared Leto. Like, this is, I mean, again, if the fans want it and they pay their subscription and they show up, then excellent, right? But like, yeah, just throwing out willy-nilly Catwomans and Jokers, I'm just like, this is a lot.
I want to see, it's the way that I've also been saying that this is why, and I know that people are sick of me saying that I'm pretty much streaming over movies in theaters at this point anyway, because of I know there's some movies that I can't wait to see in theaters, and I can't wait to finally get back into theaters. But there's certain movies like this, and I'll tell you why. That I know most people are like, well, you wouldn't want to see this big spectacle on the theater. Sure, by the spectacle side of it, absolutely. But I love the idea that this is essentially 4 episodes of a television show, because it's like 4 hours or whatever it is, 4.5 hours. I don't remember, but I'm going to have like 4, I can watch an episode of it, watch another episode of it, watch another, and finish it up. And if they added some more stuff to it, that's just why I think that we can argue, or not argue, we can discuss it till we're blue in the face. But I think that for me, it's if he had no footage from his original cut of this at all, and it was like, you know what, let's scrap everything that I did beforehand, and then I'm going to add this, then I'm going to add that, and make a new movie out of it, then I can see more so the argument of this is just his Justice League. If he's working off of a lot of this footage that he already had and that he did, it's still his cut. It's cut with reshoots. So I do think it still can be called the Snyder cut, because it is his cut. He just unprecedented. Like most people don't. Like Richard Donner didn't get an additional $70 million to then do Superman 2. They just put together the footage that was already there and they put it together. So that's the way it's traditionally gone. So when people see it, they go, well, that's his cut, because it was all the footage that he already shot and already used. There's nothing in the rule book that says, okay, well, he added money to it and added new scenes to it, and added it, so it doesn't count as his cut. It's still based off of the other stuff that he did. It's still based off of that trailer and the footage that we saw beforehand. So I still think it is part of that cut. It's just he has additional money and resources and characters and stuff that he added to it. But again, it just depends on how you look at it. Okay, so by the way, if you're brand new to the channel, that's a clip out that we put in there. So if you want to leave your thoughts on it, it started with the Carla Gugino portion of it. Do you think that she should be Catwoman? And what do you think overall about what they call it? Should they call it the Snyder Cut? Should they call it Justice League, Zack Snyder's Justice League? What say you? Thank you for checking it out, and subscribe if you can. All right, moving on over. Once again, I got to remind you, streamlabs.com/the Schmodown. Very important for us to keep this thing going here on SEN Live. And if you're able to here, please put in donations, whether it's a question, whether it is a Schmobot, whatever it might be. The league also, but the show and the network is run off your generous donations. So if you're able to today, streamlabs.com/Schmodown, and $400 price point here today. You're going to have Alex Marzoña singing from Hamilton, and a $500 Sing My Way, but in a rendition for RB3. All right, let's get to the next topic. What do we got?
Next topic, Michael Bay has lined up his next project titled Ambulance, with Jake Gyllenhaal starring in the remake of a 2005 Danish thriller. The original revolved around an Afghanistan veteran and his brother botching a bank robbery, and their only way to escape is by hijacking an ambulance, taking the paramedic and patient hostage. Dylan O'Brien is in talks for the younger brother character, and Eiza Gonzalez is up for the paramedic role. After Bay's recent foray into streaming with last year's 6 Underground on Netflix, it's unknown if the relatively small, contained Ambulance movie will be a theatrical release, but will begin shooting in January. Kristian?
I don't know. Anytime I hear Michael Bay, I say, I don't know. And it's just, is it me, or is it Michael Bay putting movies out on Netflix like every other Wednesday?
He only did one.
I don't know. It just feels like, I guess that one was so much I didn't even see it. So.
Don't save yourself, Kristian.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Although I would love you to film Sadie's reaction to the first 5 minutes of 6 Underground and just see if she makes it to 5 minutes.
I'm all right.
Yeah.
Goddard, what do you think about this news? Because
I do love that. Of course, it's Michael Bay, so it's Jake Gyllenhaal, Isaac Gonzalez, and Dylan O'Brien, three of the most gorgeous people on the planet. She just happens to be a paramedic worker, and she's gonna get taken hostage. And I've never seen the original, but knowing Michael Bay, they're gonna be driving around Los Angeles, and there's gonna be explosions and fire hydrants and girls in bikinis jumping out of the way of this moving
in slow motion.
Yeah, slow motion, absolutely. And then, Isaac Gonzalez is going to have to chug a Red Bull while eating Oreos and whatever other sponsorships they can shove into the back of an ambulance. Sorry, I'm really bitter about that whole Songbird movie and Six Underground. I am officially done with Michael Bay for now, but I love Jake Gyllenhaal. I'll watch the trailer. I will see, because I trust Jake Gyllenhaal. I'll watch the trailer. I'll give you a click on YouTube, Michael Bay.
That's a great Twitter quote. It's like, I'll watch the trailer. Clarke, what do you think?
I think that Jake Gyllenhaal is the piece that's interesting about this to me, because Jake Gyllenhaal, over the last handful of years, with the exception of Spider-Man, he's not doing movies just to do movies, right? Jake Gyllenhaal is kind of consistently doing cool shit. And so I do think that, if Jake Gyllenhaal is leading this movie, then that is a sign. I also think that while, I'm not the biggest Michael Bay fan in the world, I think we all probably long for him to return to the other guys, and not the other guys. What's the one? Pain and Gain. Sorry. The Pain and Gain kind of vibes. He is a very good director. He's in terms of visuals and so on. And when he has material that is like Pain and Gain, he really can make a great movie. And so I'm hopeful that maybe the combination of Jake Gyllenhaal and maybe wanting to return to more of a vibe of like Pain and Gain will be something a little more substantial.
Yeah.
Okay, Clarke. Go ahead, RB3.
Well, no, I 100% agree. There was a point like post 2016 that I will call myself a Michael Bay fan, honestly, because this Transformers movies aside, which I didn't see Age of Extinction. Well, I did see Age of Extinction, but I fell asleep to most of it, and I didn't watch it last night. So for me, Michael Bay, Michael Bay had Pain and Gain, and then he had 13 Hours. In 2016, which, I agree with Mark Ellis. I think it's a great movie. And so when they talked about Six Underground, I was like, oh, finally, he's getting away from Transformers. He's getting away from that garbage. And unfortunately, Six Underground was even a worse version of a Transformers movie.
Netflix was like, do whatever you want to.
Yeah.
I turned off the movie when Ryan Reynolds legit walked up to the bar and was like, I'll take a martini with aviation gin. It sure is good. Literally happens in the movie. That's not an exaggeration.
Yeah, but I, them Six Underground was silly and over the top, but I think when Michael Bay has a serious story, or like Clarke said, when he has some content behind it, like with Pain and Gain, like with 13 Hours, when there's actual stakes and actual stuff, I think he can do a pretty good job, and he has style. He's no doubt an auteur, one of the most iconic directors ever. So whatever this ambulance movie, and by the way, I don't think Jake Gyllenhaal signed up for anything bad either. So this might be, I don't know, maybe this is a Michael Bay Oscar picture. I don't know.
Oh wow.
I don't know.
RB3 is going out on a hot streak.
Who knows? It could be good.
I'm still mad at Michael Bay for not putting me in that Doritos commercial. I think it was.
I
had a callback for that. No shit.
I wasn't Doritos. I think it was Bud Light or something, wasn't it?
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's right.
It was Bud Light. I went in on that also. And
I think we saw each other at the.
Maybe because he was in the room. He was in the room when you did the audition. Yeah,
it was like screaming, sports fan. Hey, you guys have a special high five, and he goes, "Don't go hugging each other," or something like that.
Yeah. Absolutely, I remember that. That was shit. I do remember that. All right, what is now? Actually, what is next? What's going on with this WandaVision thing? There's some news with WandaVision. Alex, did you see it?
I saw that they announced their release date.
Yeah, it was supposed to be. It was supposed to be the end of this year, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was supposed to be sometime in 2020, but now they moved it to January 15, 2021.
That's not too much. It's not too far away. January 15th. I would have liked to have seen. Now, do you think that this had anything to do with let's just let Mandalorian play itself out to the end of the year, and then we have another series that because they don't not if they launched WandaVision, because when was it originally supposed to come out? Does anybody remember?
They said just end of 2020. I don't think I don't remember them giving a date.
So let's say it's going to be the beginning of December, right? And then if it goes however many episodes and it ends in January, or even early February or January, then it's like, okay, well then we don't have anything. But if they started in January, then they have another show, and then I don't know when Loki's coming out, but maybe what they're trying to do is more of that Netflix strategy of lining up their series so they have some hit series that people can watch, and then it's like, all right, well, Mandalorian, and what do I do to watch now? Well, don't unsubscribe now. We got WandaVision coming for you, so stick around. And they release some of their movies. They have now WandaVision coming out, and now they have again whatever they're working on their other series as they're pushing it. They have other Star Wars series. So I think this was strategic that way. I could be completely off the mark, but
no. I think you're right, because people in the chat are saying Soul's going to release on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
So MK Songbird saying Mandalorian runs till December 18th. Soul is December 25th. And then with WandaVision, like we were talking about with HBO, Watchmen ended, and then 2 weeks later, Succession started. And then 2 weeks after that, Raised by Wolves started. So it's like HBO has this thing down where they'll release, the Ballers, the Entourage, anytime, anywhere, half-hour series. They keep their big-time Sunday night series separate 2 weeks after each other. And so I think this is the absolute right move to push it like, all right.
It's only a month.
Giuliani donated $20.
Oh, thank you,
Said
Rudy.
WandaVision was supposed to come out at the end of 2020. The networks said that. Well, if the networks said that, it must be true. Thank God we have the networks to always tell us the truth.
Well, I have to. Oh my goodness! Oh my! WandaVision was supposed to come out at the end of what? Oh, the networks! The networks! Oh my goodness! If it's not on the networks, then I don't know if you could. Clarke, the networks.
Rudy, don't talk to me.
I'm sorry. Oh, sorry, my dear. Oh, she must. Oh, I get it. She's listening to the networks. Oh my God! It was a setup. It was a setup. It was a setup. That young woman was. We were just. I thought, why not? Let's just talk about. I'm a big fan of Monopoly. I thought she was too, and I figured we could have a conversation about it. I casually adjusted my ball bag on the bed, and I didn't know that was a crime. The networks covered it, and if the networks, I have my 9-year-old screaming, "The networks!"
Oh no! Created a monster.
The networks. So good, soulless rat. All right, let's get to the next one. Is that? Does everybody feel the same way though about this? Does anybody think that them putting out this show a month later is anything but probably programming strategy?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Brett. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say. Other than that, I loved Inman's take. Like that made me more excited about it yesterday when he was saying that how she would become a villain and set up for something with Doctor Strange, right? Am I wrong?
Yeah. Set up to be a villain. Doctor Strange. Set up that the House of M storyline where she kills all the Avengers and introduces the X-Men into the universe through the multiverse. So yeah, that's what Emma was saying. I mean, I think that's a very good theory, and I frankly I'm excited for January 15th because frankly, I don't think there's normally. I mean, we're not normally have anything in January anyway, just basic movie season. But like even especially now we're in like the drought of the pandemic. Right. I feel like this is perfect time. I feel like Christmas is already getting crowded up with Soul and people watching Mandalorian and there's a bunch of Christmas stuff that's going to be coming out too. So
January is amazing already because look, like I said, I'm not necessarily too excited about WandaVision. Like the trailers to me, but I'm still going to watch it. And the other thing I'm definitely going to watch is Cobra Kai season 3. So January to me is pumped.
That's really interesting, Kristian, because that trailer for me, I was like, oh, I haven't subscribed to Disney Plus yet. I don't. They're not getting my money easily. But watching that trailer, I was like, wow, this is different. Like that was the thing that actually made me go, okay, maybe I will subscribe to Disney Plus.
I'm very
WandaVision.
I'm very much aware that I'm in the minority. I there's a lot of people that and I've just mentioned it, that the particular trailers for me thus far haven't really. I'm just worried about the whole 50s sitcom and how much they're going to rely on that. But I will tell you though that Jason Inman kind of sold me on it yesterday when he was on the show of because he knows the whole backstory of where it ultimately leads to, and his pitch on ideas of where Scarlet Witch could go, and eventually what that led to in the comic books, and hearing, and anytime like he or like what the great John Schnepp would talk about these things, they'd get me more excited because they know the lore. It's like when I really go diving deep into like the Old Republic, I think I get people excited about it when I talk to them because I know a lot about it and I know what the potential of what it could be. So hearing Jason talk about it, I said, okay, that doesn't play obviously in the trailer, and it's not supposed to. So, but either way, that show is something that, and it will be the first MCU thing that was supposed to be Black Widow, but because of the pushback, this is the first MCU thing that's going to ultimately shape the new direction of the next phase in MCU. So it's going to get a lot of people.
And stylistically, it's different, and that's something I think at this point that that excites me as a fan or a consumer. Right? Is just like it's not the same thing over and over and over again. And I always like a big swing, even if it doesn't unnecessarily work. And so I like that they've committed to something stylistically. But like you said, I don't think that that's going to be necessarily the whole show, but to market it that way is something that made me go, oh,
yes,
all right.
Let me ask someone who's got a transformer in their living room.
They got mad at us, and I think it's he's outside.
Jack Meyer donated $100.
Oh, thank you.
I got your back. Can we have Kristian do an interview between Rudy and the CNN anchor? Hi, Brett.
Oh, sure.
Amazing.
Sure. All right, let's say I'm here today. If you've noticed over the last couple of weeks, there's a thing going on that wasn't planned. It wasn't planned. And by the way, listen to my podcast. You must realize that this isn't something that anyone should be doing. They booked this. They booked this the 4 seasons, the 4 seasons. But it wasn't a 4 seasons, was it? No, it wasn't. Was it? It wasn't. So today, joining me is a man with a terrible comb over. He is, some call a pineapple body, some call a person of ill repute, but he's my guest today, Rudy Giuliani. What? Wait, excuse me. A pineapple body? Who said that? Who said that? Well, sir, it was on a lot of different networks. Oh, the networks. Oh, my, there it is. There it is. Well, if the networks say I have a pineapple body, then I must have a pineapple body because the networks don't get it wrong. I was always told I had an Adonis-like body, but I guess that's not true. I guess because the networks said it. Sir, I would love to have you on my podcast, which is available now. If you go there, it's not on this network, but you can go and listen to it. Please join me, sir, on the networks. That's all I got. Thank you for that. Thank you for that.
The networks.
My favorite line today is "Don't talk to me, Rudy."
Don't talk to me.
Clarke, you're a 2-time champion, and I'm very impressed with you, young lady. Will you come and work for my business?
Absolutely not, Rudy.
All right.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not, Rudy. All right. Thank you for that. Streamlabs.com/Schmodown. I'll tell you right now, we are about $220 away from Alex. Hey, Alex, singing. You want to see this, guys. You want to see this.
Oh, yes.
And we haven't, James Alvario paid good money to make sure that we called you Chips for the rest of the year.
Oh.
You remember that?
Did he? Though?
Did he? You were on the show. Where were you? Did he?
I wonder when you would bring that up.
I forgot.
It's 6 days.
It's been 6 days. Oh, so funny. All right. Well, let's. What do we do?
Turned away.
What was that?
Schmobile came in. Okay.
Someone had gas?
No. It's the Schmobile.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, acting.
What was that?
I'll replay it right now.
Thank you. Here it comes. All right. So we also there's a couple of them.
Yeah, some Queefer Sutherland.
Queefer Sutherland donated $20. Does anybody think that Zack Snyder's Justice League will actually be good? I was very underwhelmed with Batman v Superman, and I think Zack Snyder fans are a lot more vocal and love his style, but the average movie-going fan maybe get turned away.
I do think it's going to be good, and I'll tell you why. It's because when it came to Batman v Superman, the Snyder cut, if you will, of that movie, I enjoyed way more than what put out. Now, do I think, it's the fact that he made a 2 hour and 45-minute movie in order for it to be, because it doesn't make sense. It doesn't flow the same way with cut down in the theatrical version. It just doesn't. It plays so much better. I like the longer version. I like that version of it a lot, actually. So I do think that this will be a good movie. And I think that I just think he's got too much passion for this. I think there's too much love in it, and that he got some extra cash behind it. I do think it's going to be good. I'm excited for it. Nobody else seems to.
Well, how dare you disrespect Queefer Sutherland like that?
I know.
Put some respect on Queefer's name.
I know. I'm sorry, Queef.
I mean, part of me feels like no matter how bad it is, people are still going to love it. Like, people have been hyping this up for years. The Twitter campaign. This is the biggest fan. I mean, people thought Sonic, them changing the Sonic design was big. The fact that they literally are bringing back a deleted cut of a movie and adding $70 million to it is nuts. So, like, no matter what, the fans, if you're a hardcore Snyder Cut fan, you're gonna love it regardless, no matter how bad it is or how good it is. So.
Yeah, but that's the right answer right there.
There you have it. All right, what's next?
All right, Arnold Schwarzenegger is dipping his toes into TV as he signed on for an untitled global spy adventure series for Netflix. The show will center on Arnold's character and his daughter, played by Monica.
Yasu donated $20. I was watching audience reactions to Infinity War and Endgame last night. I miss those MCU opening night shows. I can't wait for them to return. Also, how does Clark get classier each and every time?
No one knows. No one knows. It's a gift.
Can I actually say, so I had the opportunity to see the movie Freaky. Freaky comes out tomorrow with Vince Vaughn.
Yes.
First of all, it is great. Can you give
us your review?
Yeah, I mean, it's excellent. It's hilarious. The kills are great. If you're not a huge horror fan, you'll still love it because Vince Vaughn is hilarious. If you love horror, the kills are creative. It's very much like a new slasher movie, so that's really fun. It's a blast. But I wanted to go see. It's tough, and I know even the filmmakers are like, it's playing in some drive-ins, but it's not playing in any drive-ins in Atlanta where I am, which is kind of a disappointment. It is going to be in theaters, but it is going to be on VOD later this year. So just bookmark it. But
who's the studio? Who's the studio?
It's Blumhouse and Universal.
It's Blumhouse and Universal. Okay.
Yeah. But do not miss it. Like, seriously, it's just a blast. But I bring this up because to that person's point, I was watching it at home and I was thinking to myself, oh man, I miss sitting in a theater with people screaming and reacting and laughing. And it's just like, it really, really made me, realize how much the movie going experience is really special. And it's just like, I miss it.
Yeah. I mean, it's like I said, I think that we'll probably go back to, depending on what happens with AMC. If AMC can stay afloat and get themselves, able to, once I think theaters will start to see how we used to see it, maybe if I'm optimistic, July, August next year. But if they're still around, AMC, at that point, if they can hold on to them. If not, I think that we might be not returning to movie theaters next year, and I think that someone will wind up buying the theater chain and adding new ones and all that.
So I kind of just, this is interesting for our business as well, because, and I know you guys don't like to get political, but I do think it's important to point out that because of the current administration in the U.S. kind of denies the severity or the existence of the virus in the first place, right? Like, they're not taking a comprehensive approach to understanding the virus. Right. I don't believe that there's been a single case of COVID that can be traced back to a movie theater. And so what is so unfortunate and really sucks for the economy and for just human existence is that the administration could potentially do some research and actually figure out, is this safe? Because if it's safe to open with limited capacity, then you could, in theory, actually get people back to the movies again. And we wouldn't necessarily be in this situation. And so I'm really hopeful that come January 20th, the Biden administration looks into this so that we can get back to our lives. You know
I still think, though, Clarke, I still think that people are too scared, though. I think even if they figured out a way to do it, I still think until the vaccine's out there, until it starts clearing up and the cases start going down, that they're not going to get back into the theater.
What I'm saying is, obviously right now we're experiencing a spike in cases. So now is not the time to go back to public life. I'm not talking about that. What I'm talking about is the understanding of how the virus actually works and having people study it. And I would, if you told me that theaters were going to be at 50% capacity, it was safe to go in there with the high functioning air conditioning systems that most major chains have. And the government said, look, we've studied it. Here are the facts. And here's what we feel like it's safe to do. That is something that I think people would go, okay, if we can trust the information that we're being given and that somebody actually paid attention to this, I would do that. I would go back.
Well, I think even on top of that, I mean, yeah, like you said, there's ways that they could do filters in the air conditioning, all that kind of stuff, and there's all that kind of stuff. But I think also too, to go off of Clarke, I think also if they're not able to open them, at least have a stimulus package for the theaters ready. You know what I mean? To keep them alive, so when we are able to reopen safely, we could have the theaters run back to normal. I think that, I mean, also too, that kind of bumps us into interesting conversation. I don't know if y'all heard this, but AMC Theaters announced that you could rent a theater for $99.
I don't want to do that.
A whole movie theater.
So you get to pick the movie, or is it just whatever's out currently?
So they say for older movies is $99, and then for newer movies base is $150, and then if you have up to 20 people, it could go as high as to 200 or 300, something like that.
I'm honestly gonna look at their catalog of what older movies, because there's a lot of movies I did not get to see on the big screen. So
yeah. So I mean, that could be if that's the way, and it's up to 20 people in the theater. If that's the way to kind of salvage some cash, at the to keep the theaters alive, I'm all for it. Fauci said we could have a widespread vaccine by April potentially. So we could be looking at things getting back to normal around the summertime, hopefully next year. But we'll see. We just got to see how things play out. And it's not just America too; it's all across the world. So.
The whole world. Yeah.
And also, I just want to say very clearly: wear your mask and please be safe, and please stay home when you can. I'm just talking about trust in the future and actually finding ways to get our economy going that are safe. Right?
Sure.
If it's proven to be safe, then or safer or lower risk, then that's something that we could do, and so that we feel like we're functioning and the business is supported. That's all I'm all I'm trying to say.
Absolutely, and I got that for sure. It says it's just like you're saying, making sure that the proper research is put out there, which at the moment doesn't certainly seem like it has been. So okay,
I just am appalled that you would come on the show and speak intelligently and clearly like that, and just really make us look
really
bad,
not. You're not fitting the vibe of this show. We are morons here.
Could you please fart right now, please? This is not.
I would if I could, Brett, but I
would if I could.
This about me, but I don't fart or have any bodily functions.
Oh,
whatsoever.
okay.
Well, now we're talking.
Sorry. Yeah.
Well, will you come work for me now?
Rudy.
No?
Yeah.
My goodness.
No, Rudy.
Curtis
Still
donated
no.
$20. Hey everyone, Clarke, you're lovely, classy and sexy AF. I'll miss you RB3 along with your laughter and insight. Can we get Michael B. Jordan reviewing the Xbox Series 10, and does Clarke do impressions? If so, let's hear it.
What's your impression, Clarke?
I do one. I can't do like free speaking impressions, but I can mimic like lines from things.
Sure.
And so the one that I always do is Jodie Foster in The Silence of the Lambs.
Brandon donated $20.
I'll wait
Going
till
off
this
what
is done.
Clarke said, I work for theatre chain that has opened in Arizona. They have strict precautions and business is slow, but it's getting better every week. Can't wait for Freaky.
Yeah, I think that's also a big part of it too, right? People, you need to kind of have things open to kind of get people readjusted and reacclimated, right? Because like, I think, you know, it might not appear safe like in the beginning, but I mean, a lot of businesses, I remember in the beginning of the pandemic, with the second that LA County was like, oh, we can open restaurants again, they had the indoor dining. And then it was until later that they decided that they're going to switch it to outdoor dining because they did the research and they figured out what to do. So it's all about adjusting and removing. And to be fair, that's a little bit of what Nolan was saying a couple weeks ago about them not taking the studios not taking the right lessons from the movie theaters thing. I still think that's still skirting accountability from not, you know, reading the room and not releasing the movie at the right time. I still think that's a little skirting it, but that's what he was saying is like, you could look at the cases and be able to open if the right precautions are taken.
Yeah. I go back to the impression there, Clarke. What are you looking at?
Oh, I know what line she's thinking up. I'll set her up. Clarice, what did Mick say to you? No, I don't think she's going to.
That's good.
Not the line. That is not the line. Nice try, Brett. Nice try. Okay. So I wish I had like a microphone because I feel like it needs to be very heavy breathing. But here we go. Okay. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here we go. Okay. Dr. Lecter. The lambs. They were screaming.
Take that mirror and look at your shelf, Dr. Lecter.
Sure. He said he could smell. No, I won't.
Yeah, you can do that one.
Yeah. All right. So
keeping it classy for Clarke.
That'll be great. If she has the classy Clarke Wolfe show, you just have you in like the most polyester suit that you've ever seen in the beginning, singing the theme song, "Keeping It Classy with Clarke Wolfe." Keeping it classy with Clarke Wolfe. All right, let's get to that impression. What was it? Michael B. Jordan doing what?
Oh yeah,
reviewing the Xbox Series X.
Yeah.
Okay. And just a reminder before he gets into this, we are $150 away from Alex singing his song, and past that at 500, I'm going to do my way, but it'll be RB3's way. All right.
Yo, what's up, y'all? Here to review the new Xbox Series X for you. It's your boy Michael B. Jordan. I'm here. I'm smiling. Hey, I know I just did a commercial with PlayStation, but guess what, baby? I'm here for Xbox because I rep both sides. You know what? King of Wakanda, Eric Killmonger. That's me. That's who I am. Ooh wee! Hey, where's the Oscar? Hey, 3-3. Where we at? Hey, auntie. That's my review, y'all.
Oh my God.
The big ooh-wee.
You said, I'm Michael B. Jordan. I'm here. I'm smiling. That made me laugh so hard.
And if you saw, Michael B. Jordan did a commercial for the new PlayStation, so it's pretty accurate what RB3 just did.
So good. RB3.
Ooh-wee. I love the ooh-wee. So my favorite says, "I love an impression when a person says their name." Like that's how I set up Gary Busey. This is Gary Busey. I have been chewing on the inside of my sneaker for the last part of the decade. Inside of that, I have also realized that if you look to the left, you can strengthen your relationship with Christ. Thank you, Gary. All right, what's next?
All right, let's get back to this Arnold on Netflix.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Arnie on Netflix. Let's talk about Arnie on Netflix.
all right, he's finally getting into TV, signed on for an untitled global spy adventure series for Netflix. It'll center around Arnold's character and his daughter, played by Monica Barbaro, but no other details of the espionage thriller have been revealed, so the real hook of this show must be good, right? Will you be watching this Arnold series, Kristian?
Am I going to go to the bathroom a little later on?
Alex.
Yeah. It's like, come on. So it's like it is.
Do you like him?
Of course, I'll be watching the Arnold series. Now, if they were smart, which no one is, if they were smart, they would make this a Secret Commando sequel, and the daughter is Alyssa Milano. They don't know, and it's going to be, and it's John Matrix, and he's getting back into it. Sign me up all day, though. Arnold in a Netflix series. Like, who would have imagined? In 1992, you'd be like, oh yeah, Arnold's going to be on TV. Like, no, this is one of the biggest movie stars on the planet. So many movie stars are doing television now. It's going to be one of the only ways to get yourself seen out there right now. But if Whiskey and Lulu are not in this series, I'm going to be very upset. Do you know who Whiskey and Lulu are, Clark?
No.
So
wait, yes I do. The llamas.
It's his donkey and his horse. He has a donkey and a horse that live. It's close. So yeah.
I don't know.
So Clark, let me tell you, I have whiskey. I have both Whiskey and Lulu, and they are currently inside of my house. They are there.
Eating. Yes, I saw you, Arnold, eating the cereal or something.
Yes, so I was eating the cereal, and then next to me was Whiskey and Lulu, and I gave them carrots. It was fantastic. I really liked what they're doing there, and I have made it in my waiver that I put them in there, and they show up. So I will ride Lulu at one point and shoot the gun. They got you, and then Whiskey will go to sleep. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you
very much. Thank you.
Oh, what if it's a True Lies TV show? That's what somebody said in the chat.
And if Tom Arnold's not in it, he's going to go into a slumber because he's been pushing for Total Recall. Or it's not Total Recall, a True Lies sequel forever. He has been banging the drum of a sequel forever, and if he's not in it, the guy's going to cry himself to sleep for the rest of his life. Yeah, I love this. I love the fact. I mean, I don't know what it's going to be. I always get excited to see Arnold come back to prominence and have a hit TV show. I'm on board. Clark, you don't give a shit about this. Why?
I didn't. Did my face say that, or did I say that?
I know you pretty well.
Oh, listen, I like Arnold. I do. So I'm not a sly gal. You know what I mean? But I love Arnold. My dad loves Arnold, so I grew up watching Arnold, and I'm here for it. I like. Also, when I hear this, I think not only is it, it's good for him, right? It's work, whatever, but Netflix greenlights things based on algorithms. And so it's like you have this huge international movie star. Of course, it's a no-brainer. Like, I can't get my final season of Glow, but good. I'm glad we're doing this. Right. But I get it. From a business perspective, it totally makes sense. And so, yeah, I'm here for it.
Brett Sheridan, as a kid in the 90s, is this exciting for you?
Hell yeah. And I 100% if Whiskey and Lulu were in it. I mean,
even better.
Yeah.
I would love for Whiskey and Lulu to be in it. Whiskey and Lulu should have their own show, own reality TV show. And it's just, this is Whiskey and Lulu.
It was great that he was just telling everybody, be like him. Be indoors with your donkey and your horse.
Yeah.
And be safe, or be in your jacuzzi with your donkey and your horse, just like everybody else. They're just like us, celebrities.
Celebrities.
Like us.
They're just normal people.
Donkey and a horse.
Stop going outside. Be in your mansion. Go play on the tennis court.
With your donkey and your horse.
Yeah, with your donkey and your horse.
Why do you need to go out? Who needs AMC? We all have home theaters. Like, what are you doing?
Don't we?
Buy a grocery store. Then you don't have to go to one where other people are going.
We all have private islands like the Kardashians to go away from while we torture the waitstaff who are still wearing masks. But we're not. That's always fun.
Just watch like movies in your private movie theater. Come on.
With your donkey and your horse.
With your donkey and your horse. Are you out of your minds? Be safe, people.
Oh, it's so good. All right, so everybody wants to see this, right? Is anybody upset about this? Everybody give it a shot, right? That's what I thought.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. All right, Alex, let's get to the questions here. Streamlabs.com/theschmodown.
Guybrush_3 would donated $20. While Texas may not be the best litmus test, Cinemark has been open for a few months now, showing new movies and able to rent the theater. Treated my friends and family to the OG Jurassic Park for $99. Great time all around.
Wow. See, that's cool. Awesome. That's cool. You get 20 of your friends, $5 each, and then you can just watch a classic movie. That's dope.
I just checked. All the theaters in Los Angeles are still closed, though, so we can't do it.
You can't do it here. Yeah.
Might have to drive down to OC or something.
Yeah.
Is that what it is? Yeah, I still, it's right. It's what Clark said before. It's just when you turn on the news now, it's getting to be the worst that it's ever been.
Oh my God.
So it's like
the numbers are.
Oh yeah, it'd have to be like everyone go get tested this week, and then you're gonna stay inside until we go see this movie.
I'm one of these people, by the way, that I'm pretty. I mean, before all this, I'm pretty kind of free. Like I don't really get nervous about stuff, and I'm like, whatever happens. Now I'm like, I go to the fucking grocery store, and I'm like looking around, and I'm just wondering, like, why is this lady fucking staring at the beans for 15 minutes? Move. Yeah. It's just like it's like a video game. You got to navigate around everybody. They're like, just kind of like sitting around. You get like I had this school teacher. Oh, I don't know if she was a school teacher. She looked like one, but she was looking around, and she's just like, "Are you going? Are you going?" I'm like, I'm sizing up the meat that I want, and I'm doing it at a distance. You pick your chops or your lamb chops, whatever you need, and get going. You don't need to breathe on my neck while you get your hot dogs. And it was
fucking teachers. The worst, aren't they?
They're the worst.
Overpaid idiots.
How's your summer vacation, you lazy fuck?
Yeah, well, you get 3 months off. Yeah.
Scumbag. But do you have a horse and a donkey also?
Yeah. Go feed your horse and donkey, you teachers.
Fucking teachers. Oh, God.
I wish I was pissed at how much teachers made. I wish that.
Oh, God. Seriously. All right, anyway.
Still not enough, though. Still not enough. They need it.
No, never enough. Never enough.
All right, guys, we are $99 away from Alex. From Alex singing there. So, and we're at it's 11:12. So I think we'll get there, Alex. So and then 200 away, 199 away from me singing my tribute song to RB3. All right, let us get to some questions. Did we miss it? We missed some from yesterday, right? Hey, Alex.
I don't remember. Let me take a little peek back.
Ben Goddard would have never done that.
God. Oh my God.
He memorized all the questions.
Yes, he did.
Memorized.
Never do that to Queefer Sutherland.
Yes. I know, unbelievable. I'm just hoping Hyannis, or was it not Hyannis?
Mr. That's my dad. I'm Mr. Hyannis.
He's Hyannis. I hope Mr. Hyannis makes another appearance so we can get Alex super excited again. Where the hell are we?
Oh my God.
What's wrong?
I'm still looking.
You're still looking?
Well, I mean, I'm looking at the super chats to see if we missed anything from yesterday, but they're not pulling up. Ben.
Streamlabs has been super goofy.
Well, do we have anything? Do we have any other stories we can talk about while you what's it called? Do your job?
I mean, if you want to talk about the Gerard Butler movie called The Plane, Lionsgate dropped distribution of that.
Yeah, why? Because why? Yeah, give me a setup for that, and then you can look for the stories. I mean, the questions.
Producers were unable to obtain production insurance due to the pandemic, so Lionsgate decided to drop their distribution. Production was planned to begin in Malaysia last month, but was scrapped when COVID cases spiked and they couldn't lock a new place to shoot. It's interesting that it takes place in Malaysia because of all the the plane that disappeared over Malaysia. And the movie is about a commercial pilot who lands his storm-damaged aircraft in a war zone and finds himself caught between multiple militias who plan to take the plane and its passengers hostage while the world's authorities and media search for the disappeared aircraft.
I don't know. What do you guys think about this, Ben?
I'm looking at the article. Why is there a picture of Gerard Butler and a honey badger there? Like, that's at the beginning of the show, like when we were talking before, I'm just like, I was looking through the article. I was like, is there a badger? Is there a badger? Is there a badger? There's no badger, but like, I'm just gonna share my screen real quick, just so people can see this.
Donated.
Cut off at the perfect time.
Why? Yeah. Why is that?
I don't know.
Wait, scroll down. Why do they? Maybe because he's laughing like that, and I think it looks like.
They're supposed to look like each. I think that's
Okay. It was just so mean.
It's not very nice.
Dark Horizons helming some body shaming.
They're going onion. They're going onion. Body shaming. They said I had a pineapple body. Oh. All right. So can you put you got to put the schmoba back on? I guess there was one that came in there. RB3.
Yeah. That's what I cut off at the end. Let's see.
That was it was really bizarre that they did that.
I was like, oh, it's a because like Nicolas Cage came out with that Primal movie where he's like fighting the tiger on the ship or whatever, and so I was like, is it this?
Yeah.
But
I don't know. And I don't know. Does anybody care about this, Clarke?
No, I don't think so.
It's fine. Let's move on.
Hey, Anus donated $20.
Thank you.
Did I hear my name?
Yes.
Oh, okay, that's it.
That was it. Thank you. You did, Mr. Anus, or Hey Anus. It's nice to have you back on the show. All right, let's Alex, did you find the spot?
John_Duggan donated $20. After listening to yesterday's show, the more Kristian talks about the antics his friend Barnaby got up to, the more I think that Barnaby is Kristian's Tyler Durden. Oh, and also bollocks.
Thank you. No, I cannot say that that is part of my personality. Barnaby was a man. Barnaby actually in real life went to jail, and then came out for basically, I think, what did he do? He wound up, I think it was like something like $1.2 million he wound up laundering and going to jail.
Jesus.
So it's definitely,
gosh.
Yeah. So it was definitely not me.
Gonna make sure that that is not your alter ego.
Yeah.
No, but he got away. I'm telling you, this guy was something. He's something else, man. Like he would. I wish that I have to recreate that in a scene somehow, that he would steal from the Mortal Kombat machine from the movie theater every day. He would steal these quarters and take home money. And the guy came back, and I never forget this guy coming in who worked for the company. He's like talking to the manager going, "This makes no sense. This is the most popular video game in the city, in the world right now. And you guys are consistently down every time." And he put a lock on it. And I remember Barnaby walking in for his shift, stopping, looking at it, because we were all looking at him to see what he was going to do. And he stopped. He didn't say a word. He walked outside. He walked down the block. He was gone for a little bit. He came back. He went to the hardware store and bought fucking clippers. He flipped the lock and he undid the lock. He dumped all the money in and he went out and he returned the fucking clippers. And the guy came back in and he was like, "This is unbelievable! How do you guys not see this? What is this? What's happening here?" It was incredible.
Gosh.
It was incredible, and that was just one of his many schemes. He would take the carbon boxes from the theater, like the carbon boxes that sold sodas, and he would sell them to pizzerias. He took them out of the theater, sold them to pizzerias along the company. He did that. He had deals. He had deals with the fucking concession workers where he would clean out the empty. This place was a fucking dump. He would clean out the empty popcorn things and he would resell them so they couldn't have the inventory, and he would resell them and he would make hundreds. He would make hundreds every shift. This guy was balling. I'm telling you, man.
The Safdie brothers need to direct like his life story. Gems over here, man.
I'm telling you, he's out of control. So anyway, so let's
Barnaby donated $20. Why the fuck are you blowing up my spot like that? I was merely holding that money for a friend.
Fair enough.
And he refunded his $20.
No, it's public information at this point. All right, what's next?
All right, HV3 says, "I love the karaoke song at the end based on the total amount of donations, but how about doing a second by the person who was picked by the highest donator, provided that donation is over $100? Probably a dumb idea, but you guys are the best."
What are they asking?
A second karaoke song by the person who was picked by the highest donator, and as long as that donation is over $100.
I see. So if someone, well, but then it kind of takes away from the trying to hit the goal. But it's like because someone, I think at the end, Yeah, it's just harder to do it that way. All right, let's get to what's the next one.
All right, Jake Yakavetta says, fucking hyped for the Smash-a-thon this weekend. Much love to Smets, and we'll do our best to make it a hell of an event.
I love that. So they're doing a big event for, I think it's over at Call to Action. Is that
No, I think they're doing it like on some unaffiliated channel because they don't want, like anyone, like they don't want it to seem like, like come subscribe to Call to Action or a certain point of view or whatever.
Oh, I see.
So I like it, but I don't think they've announced or sent out a link just yet.
I see. Okay, well, so basically a lot of the reactors are doing kind of a thing for Kevin Smets, similar to what Ben Goddard did to raise some money for Kevin. And if you didn't know this, by the way, you can go on over to the Skybound store now, and we have the sweatshirts for the Smash Cancer. We have the shirts for Smash Cancer. All of those proceeds go directly to Kevin Smets and his fight against colon cancer. So go in and to support, and I've been retweeting people that are getting these shirts, and like I said, it all goes to Kevin and his family, and however Kevin wants to go ahead and use those donations. So go ahead and please pick up your Smash Cancer shirts today, and go and support the Smash-a-thon this weekend. Okay, what's next?
All right, Kyle Grandinetti says, "Hey Alex, I sent my fiance oversized t-shirt and I got my shoes tied. So thank you so much for your assistance, brother." Whoa. Oversized t-shirt is one of my new songs, and one of the songs I will be premiering live on my live stream concert premiere tonight. If you guys want to watch that. Booty Giuliani says, just found out. Booty Giuliani says,
something made me laugh.
Just found out the great RB3 is leaving SEN. He will be missed. That being said, the show must go on. You will need another engineer. Resume, experience, none. Skills, I've seen every piece of content on the networks.
Oh, thank you. Oh, speaking of which, you actually did find a replacement for RB3. RB3 and I have been talking, coordinating, and Roxy Stryer, thank you to Roxy Stryer, had recommended somebody who was working over at AfterBuzz. He knew the show very well. I had met this gentleman. Ryan Nielsen is his name. And Ryan will be joining the show on Monday for Backstage, and for the Inner Geekdom show, the great Dwain Burke will be joining as engineer over on that show. And at the moment, coming up next, PLD. Paul Denuncio will be the engineer over on coming up next. So that's kind of, big shoes to fill. Big shoes to fill with RB3, but we have Ryan Nielsen on this show, Dwain Burke for those other two shows, IG and Backstage, and obviously PLD with coming up next. So there you go, everybody. So Haskell, what happened? Is Cody in the chat? Haskell to scream Cody.
Oh, I think for engineer they want it.
I already told you Cody couldn't do it. All right.
Oh, sorry. I just want to shout out too. Tonight we're doing First Cut live tonight at 6:00. So be sure to watch that first, and then Alex's stream. I'll be going through I'll be talking about my favorite memories from SEN, all that kind of stuff, leaving, and Schmo down, Schmoes know, all that kind of stuff. And we're also debuting the first trailer for Timestamp.
Oh, let's go!
Yeah. So that's be sure to watch tonight at 6:00 PT on First Cut. So.
Love it. Yeah. All right, what's next?
All right, Justin Square gives me a few tongue twisters here again. Gift got great, global goods gone glorious. Getting godly in his game with the goriest. Hit him high, hella height, historical. Hey, Holocaust hints, hear him holler at your homeboy. Imitators idolize, I intimidate. In an instant, I'll rise in an irate state. Juiced on my jams like Jerry curls, jockin' joints. Justly, it's just me writing my journals. Kindly, I'm kindling all kinds of ink on karate kick type Brits in my kingdom. Let me live a long life. Lyrically, lessons is learned lame louses just lose to my livery.
Crushing it.
Wow. You're not putting out a rap album, obviously.
Put that to a beat. I'll put it on my next album.
You should.
Yeah.
Is that actually something they wrote, or is that?
Is that the alphabet aerobics? Didn't Daniel I think Daniel Radcliffe did that on Jimmy Kimmel. He did the whole thing.
All right, what's next here, Alex?
Well, those are very fun. Joel Paz says, I don't care what you call it. They basically mean the same thing in the end. The new Justice League that was supposed to and now will be directed by Zack Snyder as presented by Warner Brothers company.
I agree. That's why I said we're ultimately saying the same thing, that it's just whether or not you want to call it his own Justice League or you want to call it a cut that's been built upon. Either way, we're all saying the same. What's next?
All right, Chicken Period says Jen Kemp's video in the Facebook group made me even more excited about her Friday. People got really creative this year in spite of the obstacles.
Yeah, Jen Kemp, I think, is someone who she's a really good player. This is going to be a great match between her and Video Drew. Video Drew is one of the best characters that we've ever had. I think Jen Kemp knows that. I think Jen Kemp's going to come in firing in a new version that we've never seen of Jen Kemp. I think Jen Kemp is a potential star, a big star. And Video Drew has already become a beloved, and her knowledge, she had a very good match against Riley. She just had a bad third round. I think that she can be, if she can hit some points in that third round, I think this is going to be a scrap. Now, Clarke, you've played against both Dewberry and Makuga. They are battling against one another here in a retirement match.
Yeah.
Who's going to go?
I mean, I think that Makuga will probably take the W. I mean, he has beat me before, so can't forget that. But I love the Wild Berries. I love both of them so much, and they're a great duo. I'm sad that there's talk of this retirement because they're so great.
Yeah, the Wild Bears are one of the most popular teams of all time, despite the fact. I mean, they're never really necessarily in contention for championships, but they weren't. But they were entertaining as all hell. And the fact of watching them kind of go at it is going to be sad, and it's also going to be who's going to go, and it's going to mean so much between this, especially depending on what's going to happen in this teams tournament, because Swag and Corruption are fighting it out for faction points here. So this is massive. Yeah. All right. What's next? It actually was one that you missed there by
Swift Nips.
Yeah, Swift Nips.
If Zack Snyder gave me a circumcision while dressed up like Batman, could I call that a Snyder cut?
You could.
Well, we went back for that one.
Yeah, that's good. All right, let's go to the next one.
John J. Ram BK says, hey guys, it would be awesome to see a Catwoman show with Carla Gugino as a veteran Catwoman and maybe do flashbacks to her early years meeting various criminals. And man, was she great in Sin City. Brett knows what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah. I did love Sin City.
Wasn't she also in that other? Wasn't she in Sucker Punch also?
Yes.
Yeah.
She was,
I never
right?
saw that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm guessing it was a mess.
Terrible.
Yeah, I remember.
But was it fun?
No.
I have to.
It wasn't.
I just remember being very loud.
I can never forget seeing that movie. I think I was on a because I used to do math competitions like in different states or whatever. So I think we were in like Missouri or something like that, and we went to a small theater after all these math competitions because I was like, yeah, Sucker Punch, I'm hyped for it, Zack Snyder, yeah. And dude, I swear, me and all my friends were just like, bro, what? Like 10 minutes in, or at least like 20 minutes in, we're just like, dog, we gotta leave. But we stuck through it. But
yeah, I remember seeing that with Ellis, and he Kool-Aided me into like I think I gave it way more of a better review than I probably should have at the time because he loved it, and I remember like going back and seeing it again on TV or something, and going, why is it so loud? So loud. All right, so let's get back to these questions. Streamlabs.com/the Schmodown. I'll tell you where we're at right now, 11:30 here. And if you guys want Alex to end the show with Hamilton, then we are about $48 away from that.
Oh,
about $148 from me singing a tribute song to RB3, and just a little bit more over that to get Ben Goddard singing Nightmare Before Christmas. All right, here we go.
Noted journalist donated $20. This just in. Zack Snyder to be fired from Justice League, Snyder cut and will be replaced by Joss Whedon. The film will be rebranded to Justice League, Snyder cut directed by Joss Whedon.
Whedon.
I like Joss Whedon.
Oh, Joss Whedon.
Joss Whedon.
Good fight.
Joss Whedon. Okay. Next.
All right, Haunted says, yay, so happy Clarke is back. Clarke, have you seen the M. Night Apple Plus show, Servant. What did you think about it? Are there any horror shows you're a fan of?
I haven't seen it. I also don't have Apple Plus. I don't have any of the plus. I don't have pluses. I don't have AMC, or I do have AMC Plus, but I don't have Disney Plus or Apple Plus. But I did hear that the show was interesting, which I like. I know I talked to a couple people who really liked it, so maybe I'll give it a watch. I like Night a lot. I like M. Night Shyamalan a lot. So in terms of horror shows that I am watching, well, speaking of Carla Gugino, you know, obviously The Haunting of Hill House and Haunting of Bly Manor are both on Netflix right now. I'm trying to think though. I mean, yeah, Freaky is the most recent thing that I have seen that I really dug.
Did you like Bly Manor? I heard it was very different from Hill House.
Yeah, I ultimately liked Bly Manor. I thought it started really slow. So I got about halfway through and then I felt like it really started to pick up. It's very different from Hill House. It's not nearly as scary. There are like just legitimately fewer scares. But by the end of Bly Manor, it really got me and I cried a lot.
Awesome. So thank you for that question. Thank you for asking that of Ms. Wolfe. Let me ask you a question there, Goddard, about PS5. I know it comes out officially today, right?
Yeah.
So, and it's sold out everywhere right now? Is that
I think so. I'm waiting for like this, like, because I think a few people had problems with their Xbox. Like it was like wasn't working too well. So I'm not saying that's going to happen with PlayStation. I don't know. I'm going to wait for like a second or third outlet. Like I'm gonna get the only game I'm interested in right now is Miles Morales, and I can get that on PS4 still. So I'm gonna get that on PS4 and just like, yeah, I'm good.
Wait, you could get that on PS4?
Yeah.
Oh shoot! All right, I'm getting that today.
The main reason I want to get it is for the 4K player. I want to get
same. Yeah. And that like I don't have any 4Ks right now.
I have a bunch, but I can't play them on anything.
Yeah.
I get them. So I have. I mean, I just got that shit. I actually, because you guys know I'm not a massive Resident Evil fan, but I just got the package of all the movies, and I want to, and I actually do want to. I told myself, you know what, I'm gonna rewatch this franchise, and it's 4K, and I'm like, shit, I need a PlayStation 5. and I have the Rambo series in 4K that I'm definitely gonna be watching. So yeah, I'm excited for it. I'm waiting for the.
Is it that big of a jump? Like between Blu-ray and 4K, like quality and stuff.
Yeah, it looks a lot better.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. What's next?
Bella says, "Hi Clark, hope to see you more often. Can anyone here speak a second language? And random, but Clark, have you ever gotten into a physical fight because you look like a brawler?"
Wow.
No, I have not ever gotten into a physical fight. I would like to think that I could use my words instead of anything else. So, you know, but I don't know. I think I could. A brawler.
Yeah, but I can.
Clark likes user. Go ahead.
I'm just saying. I could see like there's probably people. The reason why she doesn't gonna fight is people like, no, I'm. And you know, even like other girls are like, no, I'm not gonna mess.
I don't want to fight with anybody.
I like that.
Clark used to use her words, but here's her question mark. Here's her exclamation point.
That's right. That's right.
That's how she ends the sentence.
Fuck you up. That's right.
And I do not speak any languages.
I speak New York. Does that count? No. Speaking of which, Prince Street Pizza is opening up here. Do you guys know that?
Is it open yet? Because
it opens this weekend.
Okay, because I had Pizza Wagon. It was pretty good. It's
great.
I want to have Prince's.
So Prince Street Pizza is the best. I mean, in my opinion, is the best pizza in Manhattan. It's the best, and I took a bunch of people there. Robert, did you go with me when we went?
Mm-hmm.
You did, right? Yeah, and it was delicious, wasn't it?
That was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. Yeah.
So they're opening one up here in West Hollywood after years. Now I love Pizza Wagon. Pizza Wagon to me is the most authentic New York slice that you can get out here. And Shannon Barney and Riley's girlfriend, I told them about it, and they're like, well, about Pizza Wagon. They're like, well, it can't be better than Pizza Wagon. I'm like, listen, I haven't had this one yet, but if it's anything like the Manhattan one, it's going to blow Pizza Wagon out of the fucking water. So I'm pretty excited about it. I can't wait for it. I'll probably be getting a pie this weekend. So that probably could have been saved off the air, but I don't care. All right, let's now you guys are you're $20 away. No, $28 away from Alex. $28 away from Alex. All right, what's next?
All right, ADE3356 says, "Hi guys, I'm sorry this is late, but congratulations, Alex, on becoming a part of the SEN team. Thank you.
Yes.
Now we have to listen to Goddard now for longer. LOL. Only kidding, pal. We miss you, RB3. Clarke Wolfe, you are stunning. Love your work. Hi to Brett and Kristian."
Hello.
Hey, what a nice comment that was.
Yeah.
What a nice cool donation that was there. Thank you. It's good. It's awesome to have Clarke on. It's awesome to have Alex on all the time. It sucks that we're losing RB3, but he'll always be welcome. We know that. And Ben Goddard, it's great to have him on the show in a different capacity as well. So, and we'll be welcoming new people into the fold, and it'll be, look, we've already been on the air for over a year now, which is crazy, and we're having a lot of fun, and we're enjoying the ride. So thank you guys. All right, what's next?
Nate Drake says, "Hey guys, sorry Clarke, Payne and Gain is great, but Spider-Man 2 sucks. Hot take."
I don't like Spider-Man 2. So fucking what?
That's right.
I hope you enjoy Spider-Man 2 forever. You're right. Yes, I like Payne and Gain better than I like Spider-Man 2. They will never be in competition together. So yes, you heard me, person. See, this is why I don't fight.
That's why you don't fight. You don't need to. That's right. So pizza. Someone asked me, Pizza Wagon. The other place is called Prince Street's Pizza, and it's going to be opening up this weekend. Alex, you got to go.
USA.
All right.
Pizza USA. Pizza USA.
Pizza USA.
Pizza USA. Pizza USA says.
Pizza USA.
Well,
I shared that meme yesterday. Donald Trump put out a USA Strong, but there was no like periods, so it's just USA Strong, and it was like when Jar Jar Binks watch you bench press 300 pounds. USA Strong.
All right, what's next?
All right, Toppy the Topic says, "Yo, Queefer, how you been, man? You still listening to Skull Juice? Take care, bro. Hope you're doing well." So, Queefer, if you want to respond to that, make sure you donate.
Nice, Alex.
Okay. Queefer Sutherland does donate, but
okay.
He just says, "Is it me or does Mad Hatter and Rudy Giuliani sound like the same person? Maybe they are the same person."
Well, to me, it's just a little higher. And when I'm talking about the network, that's very different. It's a Mad Network. Rudy's more like, wait, what? Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! They both just have a very particular way that they talk. Like he just does this weird body shift at the Four Seasons when they ask him, he's like,
"Excuse me,
Four Seasons
total landscaping."
Landscaping. Yeah, sorry, landscaping. He does this weird, right. But he does this weird body shift when he's like, who said that? Who said that? And they go, the networks. Which networks? All of them. Oh my goodness! The networks. And he looks up and he's just like, he's so cartoony and dramatic. It's like he could be in Alice in Wonderland. He very well could be the Mad Hatter. Rudy Giuliani is the Mad Hatter. You could see that.
I want to see
Happy on birthday. All right, let's see where we're at here. We're okay. $24 from Alex.
Dude, I want to see this because Alex people don't understand. This is the actual cover he's done, like professionally.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, shot a whole video for it. So
we're gonna see that, or with 124, we're gonna see my tribute to RB3 today. Mm-hmm. So all right, what's next, Alex?
All right, Tim Copperwheat says, "Tuned in late because my neighborhood is currently flooding. I was happy to get on and see half of the Wolves of Steel here. Hey, yes. Clarke, that video you tweeted of Lena Powell Drake killed me. Anyways, I'm curious if Ben would like an Elder Scrolls film."
I've never played any of them. I love fantasy, swords and sandals type stuff. So I'm definitely down to see it, but I've never played any of the Elder Scrolls. So I honestly would like it more because I haven't played it. But again, when it comes to video game adaptations, I'm on Kristian's side. I'd rather see an HBO show or Netflix show like The Witcher.
Especially for something like Skyrim. Skyrim is so open world and so like massive and sprawling. Like you wouldn't want to do that in a movie.
Yeah. All right, what's next?
50 Shades of Geek says, "If you have a job interview coming soon, you'd better hide because good workers are hard to find." Okay. And then Mr. Anus says, "Ask and you shall receive."
Oh, that wasn't. You weren't very excited about that.
Mr. Anus. Mr. Anus says, "Ask and you shall receive."
There you go. All right, next.
All right, 50 Shades of Geek says, "My dad is disciplined, my mom is graceful, and I'm a disgrace."
Okay.
Oh.
So.
Sorry. All right. Dagan says, super hyped for the teams matches this week.
Yep.
Really interested to see what Deception can do. Can we get everybody's predictions on who wins the teams tourney, and also for Kemp versus Video Drew and Makuga versus Dewberry?
Makuga Dewberry for me could go either way. It just depends on what Makuga shows up, right? Dewberry, I think overall knowledge might be a little bit better, but Makuga's always if the Makuga magic is there, then he can pull it off. This is the most even match I think we've had all season, so that could go either way. I got to give the slight edge to Video Drew.
K_Wolf donated $24. You're up.
Oh, there you go.
Ooh, let's go.
Darth Chips is up with 20 minutes left. Because and then look, we'll put Ben Goddard. Ben Goddard's at the 600 mark, so now we're about 200 over from Ben Goddard, about 100 from me doing my tribute to RB3. So yeah, as far as teams go, I think that we have that match between who's airing this week, Ben? I forget.
We've got Plan 9.
Category 9.
Category 9. Sorry, they did the other one. Category 9 versus Final Exam playing today.
Jason
am I messing that up?
Donated $30. Hey, Send crew, welcome back, Clarke. Always great to see you. Are you still the commissioner of the Schmodown? Good luck, Air Bay 3. Hard to replace. Who do you all have to win on Friday? #Smash Cancer. He'll order the shirt later too.
Thank you. And yes, Clarke is still the commissioner. Clarke will be at the spectacular, and Clarke will have a very special announcement that we've talked about for the spectacular. That's exciting. Maybe a match or two that might happen next year. We'll see. But yes, the spectacular is coming up. So going into the tournaments themselves. Yeah, it's not the Odd Couple.
I got it right. It's Category 9 versus Odd Couple today, and Tom and Paul versus Final Exam tomorrow.
Yes. So when it comes to that, you got to give the edge to Odd Couple over Brandon Hanna and Jader. And Clarke, you know very well the Odd Couple. You've played them twice.
Yeah, they're hard.
They're real. Why are they so good as a team? Those two.
I don't know. It's the special sauce, you know? Like it's that weird mystery. Like I don't have a good answer for you. I wish I did, because then I could maybe have figured out how to beat them. But I think
you guys did beat them once.
We did. That's right.
Ooh.
That's right. I don't, you know, I don't like losing to anybody. But anyway, yeah, they're an amazing team, and their knowledge is, you know what I think it is? It's somebody like Endraco.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he has this wealth of knowledge that is collected, but it goes back, right? So he's really good in the categories of like the history, right? Or stuff that would pop up in categories that are older movies. Whereas somebody like Snyder is, you know, he's so immersed in pop culture today. He in his career gets to watch everything that comes out. Right. And so the two of them together, they really fill in each other's blanks in that way, you know? So it's a really good pairing.
They're really good, those two. So you have them. I mean, other teams, you look at Final Exam, which is Paul Oyama, who I think right now, I think Paul Oyama is the future of the Schmodown. I really do. I think he's a guy that's going to be around for a while. I think his attitude has changed tremendously from last season to this season. I think he respects the game a lot more than he did before. He respects the players a lot more than he did before. I think Winston has brought that out of him. There's just something about this kid that I like a lot. I think he is going to be the future of the Schmodown. So him and Lon working together is an odd couple on itself. But Tom and Paul, you don't know, they haven't hit their potential yet, so they could see that. So those are great matches happening this week, and then obviously the big pay-per-view on Friday, which you can get the tickets. You want to watch Dewberry and Makuga go at it, and Jen Kemp and Video Drew. Go ahead, RB3.
Oh, no, I was going to say, like, if you don't want to watch it just for the Wildberry's retirement, watch it for at least seeing Corruption and Swag go head-to-head once again for this season, because this is going to be a big swing. I mean,
massive.
Yeah, so, I mean, Corruption's ahead right now, but this could be a big swing for Swag. And same thing with Final Exam and the Den have been kind of having, you know, Swag and the Den, I'm sorry, have been kind kind of having everything back to back too. So look forward to all those like really fun interactions. I think they're all going to be great matches. So.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Let's keep going. Schmodownlive.com is where you can get those tickets, and then streamlabs.com/Schmodown if you want to get those donations. Only about $70 away from my tribute to RB3. All right. What's next?
All right, Carlos Perez says Speed 1994 incorrectly credits Jan de Bont as director. Speed did not have a director because if Speed had any direction, it would have been called Velocity.
Oh.
Math jokes.
I like that one. I like that one a whole lot.
Good.
Right.
Yeah. You would. Math camp.
I would. I did.
All right. 50 Shades of Geek says, I went to a restaurant and asked them to show me the cheapest thing they have in there. They gave me a mirror.
Oh.
You like that one, Ben?
Oh.
Yeah.
Ben likes that one. Right.
That was good.
D-Train says, do you all think there will be a Donald Trump movie eventually, with possibly Aaron Sorkin writing and directing it? Well, if they can do a movie about Dick Cheney, then they can definitely do a Rise and Fall movie about Trump.
Well, they already
Happy
did.
Birthday, Leo.
I mean, they already did a series, The Comey Effect. I mean, it's not necessarily a Trump movie, but they did a Comey Effect. The problem with a Trump movie is the same thing that you run in with like W, right? Is that it's, and even more so, is that he's kind of a cartoony figure all in itself, that you got to make sure that whoever plays him, it doesn't come off like an impression, because the last thing you want to do, I thought Brendan Gleeson did a pretty good job. The last thing you want to do is have like, oh, that guy's him and Alec Baldwin are kind of doing the same thing, and Baldwin's doing it for the parody of it. So it's tricky. It's tricky because when you're doing Trump, like Dick Cheney was more like, I think Christian Bale really dove into the personality traits and became him. Mm-hmm. And it is, and even Cheney was less of a, I mean, he was a public figure, obviously, but not in the way that Donald Trump is. I mean, for example, like Donald Trump hasn't spoken to the American people in like 6 days, and that is a record for him. It was like 3 beforehand. You know, Dick Cheney would like hide in the shadows. Mm-hmm. So, anyway, does anybody think that a movie could work?
No, I just don't think we need it. Like, everything was so public and everything was so obvious that there, like you said, like with Dick Cheney and the Bush administration, there were secrets that kept coming out over the years after 9/11, after the Iraq War, like what it was really all about. And it's like, I'm actually learning something as well as possibly being entertained.
Right.
There's nothing entertaining or redeemable about this presidency. And there's nothing secret about it. Everything's out there. Literally, we watched everything go on and get tweeted about. Like,
there's also still more to be written, and
that's the thing. Like,
maybe in like 10 years.
Yeah.
I just don't know. I don't know what direction they will take it in, because, like, I think if you do a comedy movie of it, like, that'll be a different thing. Like, you could find, if you want to make a straight up parody. I mean, I kind of feel like Vice was kind of a comedy too. But you can't make it. You can't make the coronavirus funny. You can't make like a lot of this stuff funny. And then if they're going to take it deadly serious, then you're going to have somebody who like literally completely transforms into Trump. And honestly, I don't know if I want to see a serious Trump movie, because we lived it. We lived it. I think that's the thing. People, Vice didn't do that well because people lived through Vice too. And like, people just don't want to go back to like that administration, and people don't want to go back to this administration. So I don't know. I think it could be a good movie, but also you got to remember, there would be riots, protests from the right, from people on the left are going to get mad. You're not going to make it.
That's why you wait. That's why you wait 10 or 20 years before you do it. You don't do it anytime soon. Mm-hmm. Anyway, all right, what's next?
All right, Artificial PP says.
Alex like that
one. Hey y'all, while watching Titanic,
really got Alex.
While watching Titanic again last night, just realized something. Don't y'all think that old lady at the end should have just sold the watch for a lot of money and, I don't know, probably donate to the poor? It's a rare artifact worth probably hundreds of thousands.
Jewel, he's talking about the jewel.
Sold the watch? I don't know. Did you finish the movie? Definitely not a watch.
This is the sci-fi ripoff called Big Ship.
Big Ship. Yeah, you're right. It's I think that was kind of the overall thing. Everyone had always said that about her. It's just like, oops. What do you mean, oops? She goes, oops. It's like, oops. You got to put your kids in college for the next you can take your family. You can take care of them for years. What is it? That's romantic nonsense. So yeah, does anybody think that she should have thrown it in the ocean?
No.
Nobody does, right? No, I never got into that conversation with anybody when they were just like, oh, you know what? But yeah, it made sense that she did that. Every single person says that she should have held on to it. I don't understand. Someone said after that watch thing, someone said challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. What's next?
50 Shades of Geek says Hamilton, Flamilton, Shamilton, Zamilton, Bamilton. The First Amendment, yo. There we go. I made Alex sing Hamilton with just $1. You're welcome, everybody.
Hamilton, Flamilton, Shamilton, Bamilton, Bamilton.
Yeah, not
I'll
anymore.
never forgive Roka for saying that.
All right, what's next?
D-Train says,
First
hey,
Amendment,
Harloff, do you think Margot Robbie in The Wolf of Wall Street has the best New York accent in any movie? If not, who?
In any movie, no. She's okay. It slips out there. I think Jonah Hill's accent, New York accent in Wolf of Wall Street is phenomenal. Really, really good. I remember being very impressed with that because I call those out like immediately when I hear in this show that I'm watching now, The Undoing. Hugh Grant at one point says to Nicole Kidman, "You're the most New York person I know." I said, "Then you don't know anybody from New York." It's like you can hear her accent slipping out like left and right. But I think Jonah Hill's accent is really good. I have to really think about it, but that's one that kind of stands out to me. Okay, what's next?
50 Shades of Geek is back, saying, here's a quick Streamlab for the Wonder Woman of the Schmodown and the best singer of the SEN crew, the amazing Clarke Wolfe. Hope to see you more on SEN.
Yeah.
Thank you. That was sweet.
Yeah. All right. What's next?
Donuts says, sorry if this is a story that's been told, but I only remember the story of how Kristian met Rachel, not Clarke. How did you know Clarke would be great in the Schmodown? Clarke, are you a New Yorker?
I will say I lived in New York for a year in college, and I thought I was going to be a New Yorker, but I wasn't. And but I'm definitely more LA for sure in terms of the coasts. I love LA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As far
and
as how we
Kristian,
met. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember? I mean, I'm sure it was through.
I think that the first time that I think you actually came in was when we were at Toad Hop, and you were friends, and you had been friends. I think you met Mark Ellis first, and you came in to and you came in to watch. You were just coming in to watch a show, and you were in or one of the Schmoes No shows, and we just became friendly. And then I was doing a show over at Geek Nation called Far Far Away, and Clarke had her show on right before I did.
Right.
So we would always kind of just run into each other as we were transferring over like the studio, and we just always got along. And then when she was back, I think it was I don't know if it was still AMC or it was Collider.
I think it was.
I don't remember.
I think it was in the Collider space, but I
don't remember.
It was still AMC.
Either way, when we were in that space, we were back on shows again together, and we were doing. When we were running the Schmodown in 2015, Clarke had expressed interest in it, and then when we started doing some matches and stuff, like from 2015, I remember the two of us sitting on one of our panels together, and I said, Clarke, this is the match. She's like, no, I've seen it. And I go, all right, let's see how you do. So I brought it up, and she's just annihilating questions left and right. I'm like, holy shit, you got to compete. She's like, I told you I want to. And I was like, well, let's do it. and then she became Rookie of the Year within seconds. So yeah, that's just kind of how we did it. And we've told the story a million times about how without Clarke, I don't know if Rachel Cushing would have been playing, because I know exactly where I was and where I was standing. It was right outside it was where the kind of kitchen area near the fridge there, in a little waiting room where conference room at Collider, the old studio, and it was spectacular. And Clarke kind of grabbed me by the arm, and she's like, your friend Rachel is answering everything from every match, and like not just singles, Star Wars, everything. She needs to play. And I was like, all right, I'll talk to her. I'm like, she's that good? And Clarke's like, she's that good. And I was like, all right, let's do it. And that wasn't Clarke saying I want her to be my partner, I want her to do this. That was just Clarke saying she needs to play. So that's kind of how Rachel came to be in the Schmodown. All right, what's next?
All right, next one up is 50 Shades of Geek. Here's another quick Streamlab to show my appreciation to the great RB3. The show will never be the same without you. But I'm so happy for you getting cast as Michael B. Jordan's face acting stunt double.
That's right.
They're not supposed to say that?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Review and Play 23 says, I would like a movie about how the FBI dug up dirt on Trump's cabinet picks in order to stop his more radical moves, like ending the war in Afghanistan.
Yeah, like I said, there's a lot more story to be told. I think you got about another 10 or 15 years before the story can really be told and see what else goes down.
And you have to sit through all the fake news, too.
Oh, stop it, Elmo.
Come on.
Elmo. Or as that other reporter said, fuck off.
Yeah. Oh, my God. That was my favorite thing of the weekend.
That was the best.
So
All right, what's next?
All right, 50 Shades of Geek says, I think Harloff is starting to affect me in a negative way. My favorite part of that Michael B. Jordan PS5 commercial was when he said, let's play some Call of Duty. Ha, duty.
That's like he's doing an impersonation of me, man.
That's right. How about, you want to go Super Chat?
Yeah, let's go to Super Chats. Jamin John says... okay, Kristian, any funny story about your backstage segment with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson back in WWF?
I don't know if it's a funny story. I remember I was writing a couple things and I was around the corner, like just kind of monitoring some of the stuff that I was working on. And Shane McMahon came up to me and said, "Hey, do you want to be in a scene?" And I said, "Yeah." He goes, "You want to do it with The Rock?" And I was goofing around and I go, "Is it union?" I was joking, and he's like, "No, I'm totally kidding. Of course I'll do it." And then the first time that we did it, if you watch that scene, he walks up to me and he's like, "Are you new here?" And I say, "Yeah." And he's like, "Well, can you tell me where the APA is?" And I say, "It's down the hall." But the first time I said, "They're down the hall," and he goes, "They're down the hall or it's down the hall?" So I made sure that the second time we did it that I got it right. But no, that was it, and he was really cool about it. And the funny story that I always tell is running into him like a couple years later and him pulling the same thing on me in the scene in real life. So that was the cool. All right, what's next?
Jamin John back in the chat, super chat, saying, what was Schwarzenegger's stardom and hysteria when T2 hit the screens? My dad said he has gone from a superstar to demigod status back in '91.
Oh yeah, I mean that was one of the biggest movies of all time at the time because it just changed. It changed special effects. It was a good story, and then yeah, he was a megastar at that point. You agree with that, Clarke, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, he was everywhere, all over global. Like that's the thing that I think is, we forget sometimes because we have fewer movie stars these days. But he was a global sensation. Also, Planet Hollywood was a thing, and he was just his enterprise was everywhere.
Yeah, it really was. He was, and he was. You remember those? I don't know. Maybe nobody else does because I was such a big Schwarzenegger fan. He did those. He did those commercials, those Japanese soda commercials.
No, I do not remember that.
God, I have to find that. Because we're about 3 minutes away. So Alex, you better bring up that song you're singing, buddy. Unless somebody puts in a magical $65 donation, and then it's me. Let's see if I can find this in the. Yeah, this is it. I gotta play this. I have to play this. This is so good. You guys have never. Has anybody here seen these commercials?
I don't Maybe. So. I don't think so though. That was perfect.
Jesus.
Wow.
They're so good. Just type in Arnie Japanese commercials. They're incredible.
Everyone can say what the fuck was that in chat. He probably got paid $5 million for that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, because you can tell how young he is there. That's when he was on top of the world.
Yeah.
He was making bank. All right, let's see. We'll give it no, I think that's it. So you got to share your sound with us, Alex, and tell us when you're ready to go. And before we do that, I'd like to thank Clarke Wolfe. I'd like to thank Ben Goddard, RB3, Brett Sheridan, and all you guys for joining us here today. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow. It's RB3's last show. I am going to go ahead. I wasn't supposed to be on tomorrow, but I'm going to be on tomorrow. I'm going to host the show because I want to make sure that I'm here for RB3's last show. So, yeah, of course. So let's make sure that everybody's here tomorrow. It's RB3's last show, and we're going to end with a great song here by Alex.
Oh, and real quick, I'm sorry, Clark, you can't request to be on days that I'm not on because I'm on every day. So I'm sorry about that.
Thank you so much for clarifying. I actually was going to ask about that when we stopped streaming, but thank you for getting it out of the way. I do appreciate it.
I'm like
you read my mind. You could tell exactly what I was.
It was the Silence of the Lamb thing. I know. I went too far. I'm sorry.
Never. Silence of the Lambs, you can never go far enough.
Tell that to Hannibal. Sequel.
Yeah. Oh, all right. Are you ready, Alex?
Yeah. Remind me, RB3, how to do this?
You just got to share.
Yeah. Go to your share screen, and then click advanced. You see at the top, you see basic and advanced.
Hold on. Yeah.
Unless somebody's.
It says I have to continue to stop other computer sound sharing.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh
my God, I'm clicking it. Okay. And then
this is happening.
Advanced.
Yeah.
So Alex is going to sing my shot here from take us out from Hamilton, and if you haven't seen him do it, it's really a sight to be seen. It's very impressive, and we're excited to see it here. And thank you guys for making it happen.
Are you sharing your audio, Alex?
Music or computer sound only, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Let's see if you hear this.
You're not sharing.
I'm not. Oh my God.
And and as you do that, someone asked, because we are a couple super chats behind. Someone asked over. James Eaton said, "Hey Kristian, did you get a copy of Empire Strikes Back from a certain point of view?" I did.
Oh wow.
I haven't had a chance to read it yet, but I got it.
Is it the novelization?
It's not a novelization of Empire Strikes Back. It's certain point of view. It's a sequel to what they did the last time. It's a series of stories in between in that time, right? And it has all these different authors who write the story. It's like in the last one, I know Claudia Gray did one, and this one, like I'm gonna pretend that I can see and I can't, so I don't know where my glasses are. They have a bunch of different authors. And I can tell you some of them right now. They have Katie Cook, this is Delilah Dawson, who's written a bunch of stuff, Seth Dickinson, Alexander Freed, who I really like, Jason Fry, who I really like, Christy Golden is another one. So there's a lot of great authors who wrote these stories. So I'm Gary Whitta, obviously. Tons of people in here. So go in and check this out. I'm gonna read a lot of it for sure. Okay, Alex, you ready to go?
All right, let's see if this works.
Woo!
All right. You hear that?
Yeah. Turn down a little bit.
I am not throwing away my shot. I am not throwing away my shot. Hey yo, I'm just like my country. I'm young, scrappy, and hungry, and I'm not throwing away my shot. I'ma get a scholarship to King's College. I probably shouldn't brag, but that got amazed and astonished. The problem is I got a lot of brains but no polish. I gotta holler just to be heard. With every word I drop knowledge, I'm a diamond in the rough. A shiny piece of coal trying to reach my goal. My power of speech unimpeachable. Only 19, but my mind is older. These New York City streets get colder. I shoulder every word and every disadvantage I learn to manage. I don't have a gun to brandish. I walk these streets famished. The plan is to fan this spark into a flame. But damn, it's getting dark, so let me spell out my name. I am the ALEXANDER. We are meant to be a colony that runs independently. Meanwhile, Britain keeps shitting on us endlessly. Essentially, they tax us relentlessly. Then King George turns around, runs a spending spree. He ain't ever gonna set his descendants free. So there will be a revolution in this century. And to me, he says in parentheses.
Thank you guys. Thank you to Clark. Thank you to RB3, Ben Goddard.
Woo!
Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Appreciate it all. Thank you to RB3. Thank you to everybody. Thank you. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Be here for RB3's last show. If you're not here for RB3's last show, well, then you're dead to me. All right. We'll see you guys. Peace out. Thank you guys. Love you all to death. Thank you, Clark. Miss you. All right, guys. See you later.